Handicap International is the largest international organization that specializes in disability. Working alongside disabled people in 60 countries, Handicap International provides support and promotes active participation and inclusion of disabled people in society. Around the world, only 1 in 50 disabled children attend school, and Handicap International aims to promote their inclusion in education. In Rwanda, a small mountainous country in East Africa where the average income is just $260 a year and 1 in 5 children die before their 5th birthday, the challenges are great. In 1994, following the genocide in Rwanda that killed 10% of the population and left a country scarred, Handicap International began their work here. After the initial emergency support, Handicap International now works alongside partners at both local and national level to promote inclusion of disabled children in education.
Pour moi, l'inclusion signifie que tout le monde a droit à tout ce qui est proposé par le système.
In a bid to promote inclusion, Handicap International invited 8 teachers from Britain to visit Rwanda to share their experience and to learn from Rwandans who work with disabled people to ensure their inclusion in society. The teachers have varying kinds of teaching experience, but all have apprehensions about visiting one of the poorest countries in Africa.
I'm quite nervous about it, really, and very, very excited. I've known about it for some months, and I'm really, really excited to see what's going on out there and see what sort of challenges they're facing, see if it's any sort of challenge that I might be facing here as well.
Nous, au Rwanda, comme Handicap International, ce que nous essayons de faire, c'est que nous travaillons, nous soutenons les écoles ordinaires, les écoles primaires ordinaires, pour qu'ils soient à mesure d'accueillir donc tous les enfants, y compris les enfants qui ont des handicaps. Nous avons un certain nombre d'écoles, mais aussi des écoles ordinaires et des écoles spécialisées. Et nous leur proposons des formations qui puissent un peu être beaucoup plus à mesure d'offrir aux enfants un enseignement qui est adapté à leurs besoins.
Handicap International works with the Federation of Associations and Centres for Disabled People in Rwanda. The organization's president, Pierre Claver Rwaka, who's disabled himself, outlined the challenges faced in Rwanda.
We have to say about education. Other children, they don't accept him because they never been together. If the teacher don't accept those children, other children will not also accept him.
We also have teachers in our country who can find it difficult if children don't behave in a certain way. Our teachers too can often say, you know, oh, I can't cope with that, and the other children will suffer, so it would be better not to have this child in my class. But it's because it comes from the government level. As a head teacher, it's then much easier to say we must do this. This is policy, and therefore we do have to try our very best.
For the education also, we are thinking about how to include children with disability together with others in the same class. All those things was not thinking about before. And the other problem also in Rwanda is how Rwanda is a hill country. It's also a big problem for accessibility and long distance. So sometimes it discourages families, parents to take their children to school.
I believe that they are, and we are in the UK, doing the absolute right thing by trying to help people realise that people with special needs and people that have difficulties actually have a huge amount to offer as well, and by accepting them, we build a lot more tolerant and caring and sympathetic society, and that in turn helps us to grow as a lot better people individually.
Handicap International aims to increase the number of disabled children accessing quality and relevant education by working with both mainstream and special schools. At the HRD Centre, a special school for disabled children in Muhanga district, the teachers were greeted with a warm welcome. And it was clear that Director Madame Leoncy and her staff were doing what they could with the limited resources at their disposal. For most disabled children in developing countries, special education has provided the only chance of an education. And if schools such as this one were not here, then even more children would be left in their homes, cut off from society, a situation that occurs all too often.
cyangwa indi ikabafata n'uburemere kandi urona niyo wenda batangiye no kwiga mu mashuri ari abana bagenzi babo batangira gushaka kubicaho kubera ubumuga bwabo cyangwa bakabaseka abandi wenda bakabishimira kandi bakafata n'uburemere kugira ngo bakomeze bigane ntibigunge.
I've had a really good day today. We went to a special school. I was amazed to hear that the teachers have virtually no holiday and they spend their days off getting trained.
À cause du génocide de la guerre, bien sûr, il y a eu donc, beaucoup de pertes humaines, il y a eu peu d'enseignants, mais le Rwanda a très vite quand même mis des programmes pour former beaucoup d'enseignants. Mais aujourd'hui, la question, c'est plutôt former des enseignants qualifiés pour des méthodes adaptées et spécifiques pour les enfants handicapés, et donc qui puissent promouvoir l'inclusion de tous les enfants.
Currently, the pupil-to-teacher ratio stands at 66:1, limiting the time a teacher can spend with each child.
Quand on a des moyens financiers, on a plus de personnel. Je dis que pour les activités avec les enfants, pour la bonne relation avec les enfants, ça, je dirais que ça ne demande pas nécessairement les moyens financiers, mais ça demande le cœur de la personne, et surtout ça, et ça demande bien sûr aussi quelques connaissances, c'est pourquoi on insiste à des formations.
We have children that have similar disabilities, but in terms of the resources and the equipment, we have a lot more. But I would say that in the end, they're making fantastic things. They'll probably get very similar results in the end.
The school strives for its pupils to have greater inclusion in the community and, where possible, refers children into mainstream education. One such child is Claude. Claude had polio as a small child, which prevented him from going to school. After getting physiotherapy and basic education skills at the special school, Claude eventually moved on to his local mainstream school. Teachers Donna and Vicky visit him to find out how he's progressing. His father, Joseph, tells how the road to mainstream education has been a long and difficult one. Slowly, Claude became more independent, more confident to interact with others, and Joseph felt his son was ready to enter a mainstream school.
nabwira abana ababyeyi bafite abana bamugaye bari nko mu rugo ku buryo bakayoboka rwose abakira barohose barahari bakira abana bameze gutyo urumva nabahaye urugero rw'uwonge ukuntu yatangiye abafite abana bameze batyo rwose bayoboka rohose akagenda akabakira hamwe nabo bafatanya bakabakira abana babamugaye rwose ku buryo bakira abana bose urumva mbahaye urugero rw'uwonge ukuntu yari ameze n'ukuntu yamwakiye mukaba mureba n'ukuntu ari umusore.
Claude's father was keen to get him into a mainstream school, a position not all parents share.
Donc, pour qu'ils acceptent d'envoyer les enfants dans les écoles primaires, nous sommes obligés de d'abord faire des sensibilisations aux parents. Et en plus des sensibilisations que nous faisons dans la communauté, avec aussi même les autorités de base, même les voisins et même les amis des parents.